Mr. Bawa Fuseini, good morning. You're live on Max TV. And news never talk about it. Were you surprised with this big announcement?
Thank you very much. I wasn't actually surprised because privy to certain developments, certain information that I was not surprised. I was expecting something like that for a while now.
Okay. Now, what do you think actually accounted for this announcement? Because we know, or the Minister for Youth and Sports told us everything was in order and they were going to meet the deadline.
Yes, it was true that everything was in order, but there was some fundamental two issues that has hampered the development of the process. First, the usual thing, the coverage affected it, but the most important thing was the tangle between three very important key holders, ANOCA, OSCAR, and the African Union.
Okay.
The UCSA is a association of African Federation heads, and ANOCA is the African Olympic Committees.
Okay.
And AU is the African Union that owns the competition. So there was that tussle between these two institutions that has affected the development of the games. So that confusion lasted almost 2 years. And just this week that tussle between these two institutions got resolved by no other person than the president of this of the land, President His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, resolved it in Addis Ababa. That is why they have to shift it at least a few months ahead so that this similar impasse is gone and they'll put everything in progress. Except that there was another few issue of facilities would not have been ready by August. But the major issue was the tussle between UCSA, AU, and ANOCA.
Okay. Now, as the CEO of the Ghana Athletics Association, I know you were preparing. Is this a blessing in disguise? Or, I mean, it distorts everything that you people were doing towards these games?
Just like what happened at the Tokyo, we need to recalibrate, we need to replant, we need to change our gears to reflect the new date if the new date comes out in a week or two time. It really distorted our program. It's, as I said, we need to recalibrate and we need to reorganize and reorientate our athletes and the coaches. Yesterday, I received a lot of calls from the athletes. Why are they postponing it? What's the reason? So what are we going to do with our training? The Olympic Games in the same year. We have African Championship in the same year. You know, there was a lot of calls that came through, but we just told them that, hey, this is what is beyond us. It's beyond the LOC. It's something that we just have to do with. So let us recalibrate, let us replan again and prepare ourselves for. It could be a blessing in disguise. It could be a preparation for the Olympic Games. Because it's just going to be a 2 or 3 months away from Olympic Games. Those who have not qualified for Olympic Games, by that time, they can still use the African Games as a qualification, or those who have qualified can still use it as a preparational championship before the Olympic Games. So we can look at it in both ways. Even though it has distorted our program this year, but we can still use the postponement as an advantage to prepare our team for the Olympic Games.
Of course. Now, with what you are privy to, because you are closer to the organizers, do you think in 2024 these games will happen? Because we're told the same thing in 2023.
The things that prevented the organization of the program in 2023 has been resolved. Most of the facilities, the contractors are ramping up the construction of the facilities. Last year, the contract hasn't been signed between CONSA and Mundo to come and install the first class Atom trucks. That one was done 3 months ago. So as we speak now, the manufacturers are seriously manufacturing the trucks to come and install it in Ghana by August.
Okay.
The equipment, if you go to Lagos, you see that the facilities are speeding up, the construction are speeding up. And that impasse has also been resolved. So there's no any other reason that Ghana shouldn't host the competition in the first quarter of next year. And let me add to the president of the land is so much interested in this, and I cannot see the president himself, who took part in the resolving of this impasse, will not make sure that this competition happens in 2024. The postponement wasn't in anybody's interest, but it was just circumstances beyond the control of the LOC.
Okay.
That's why it was postponed. But
okay, Mr. Fuseini.
I have no doubt that the competition will come on in next year, 2024.
Okay, Mr. Fuseini, thanks for your time and thanks for talking to Max TV. If we need further updates concerning the All African Games, we will definitely come to your doorstep. Now, Odiamaye, Mr. Bawa Fuseini, or no, Ghana Letters Association, ACU, and Otene Ghana. There are 2 games to look forward today in the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. Inter Milan at the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium will come up against FC Porto from Portugal. That game is at 8 p.m. Then there's a game in Germany as well. RB Leipzig and Sonnet Manchester City at the Bepemiso. So these are 2 games that are coming up in the UEFA Champions League. And I'm the best cinema.